High quality sleep is the definition of free gains, so let me show you how to get the most gains possible out of your sleep and also how to fall asleep so much faster than you do now. And at the end I will share with you my secret trick for waking up early in the morning that will completely change the way you wake up. The first thing that we need to establish is that you absolutely need to sleep at least 7 hours per night. That's the bare minimum. It could be enough for some people, but it's a little different for each individual. Someone might need 7 hours, someone else might need 8 hours, and someone might even need 9 hours. That is up to you to discover. But the duration of your sleep isn't the only thing that is important. To get the most out of your sleep, you need to follow your circadian rhythm. What is circadian rhythm? I'm glad you asked. Circadian rhythm is basically your body's internal clock, which controls the sleep-wake cycle. It mainly responds to light and darkness. And this fact is really important for what we are trying to achieve. That's why you start to get sleepy once it turns dark. You can especially see this in the winter, where we don't have as much daylight and sunshine as we do in summer, which is why you feel so much more tired. Because circadian rhythm is body's internal clock, we want to follow it to the best of our ability. If we do that, we can get the most benefits out of a good night's sleep. Which also implies that you should try to go to bed at the same time every day, and that you should sleep during the night. Not only that this brings some more discipline into your life, but you will be perfectly aligned with what your body wants you to do. I know that some of you are working night shifts, so it's impossible for you to sleep during the night, which is not great because getting in your sleep during the night versus during the day is such a big difference. Because that's the exact opposite of what your body wants. And you best believe that your body is gonna tell you sooner or later that it doesn't like what you are doing at all. So if you are in a situation that you can choose when you go to sleep, always sleep during the night. But if you got no choice and you have to work night shifts, you should try making a couple of adjustments to minimize the damage. The biggest difference maker in this situation will be to try to make your room as dark as possible. This mainly means window blinds, because no matter if you go to sleep in the morning or in the evening, there will always be some kind of annoying light source. Doesn't matter if it's the sun, street lamps or whatever else it might be. You want that gone. If you now have some crappy blinds where the light just goes through, then I would highly recommend you to look into blackout blinds, as they perfectly block out all the incoming light. Trust me, the difference is crazy. And if you are looking for a more budget option, you should definitely get yourself a sleep mask. You don't need any fancy type of mask with speakers or whatever type of crazy nonsense they put in them these days. Just get a dirt cheap sleep mask that will work perfectly fine. And it goes without saying that you should do all these adjustments no matter if you are going to sleep in the evening or in the morning, because having a dark room when trying to fall asleep is a complete game changer. What is also extremely effective is having a cooler temperature in your room. Just think about those summer nights when you are just sweating bullets and you can't fall asleep. It's just really difficult to fall asleep when your room is way too hot. If you have the ability to decrease the temperature of your room before you go to sleep, definitely do that. What I also really need to mention is that you should use your bedroom only for sleeping. If you spend most of the day in bed watching TV or playing video games, it will be so hard for you to fall asleep. Teach your body that going to bed actually means going to sleep. Honestly, if you got a TV right in front of your bed, just get it out, it doesn't need to be there. In the ideal scenario, you should move all the electronics out of the bedroom. I know that this is not possible for everyone, but the less temptations and distractions you have in the bedroom, the better. And that is also including your phone. Your phone is probably the #1 destroyer of your sleep. And that is because of blue light that suppresses your melatonin production, which is basically the sleep hormone that tells your body when it's time to go to sleep. And if you suppress your melatonin production, you then can't act surprised that you can't fall asleep. So before you go to sleep, try to not use any screen devices. Doesn't matter if it's your phone, TV or an iPad, just avoid all of them. In the ideal world, you should do this 1 to 2 hours before bed. But let's be honest, you will probably have a difficult time doing that for even just 15 minutes. So start with just 15 minutes without any blue light before the bed and try to increase that a little by little. Instead of doom scrolling on your phone before the bed or watching YouTube videos, try doing something different. Try reading a book, for example. Yeah, I know reading is boring, so how about you try reading a manga or some kind of comics instead? There is more pictures in it, that could be fun, huh? Oh, you're not gonna do that, huh? Well, I can say that I wasn't expecting it, but come on, at least give it a try. Oh well, you are probably watching this video at 1 AM curled up in your bed saying to yourself, just one more video before I go to sleep. Yeah, sure buddy, we both know that's a lie. I'm just waiting for someone to comment, I'm watching this at 1 AM in my bed with a damn skull emoji at the end of it. Well, I don't have high hopes, but I know that there will be at least a couple of you who will try this out and it will completely change your life. Even if it's just one person, I will be happy. But if you are dead set in your degenerate ways, at least use a blue light screen filter before you go to bed. That is definitely better than doing nothing at all. And speaking of things that you should avoid, I have to mention caffeine. If you are a caffeine freak, you know this all too well. My advice is simple, only consume caffeine in the first third of your day. The time it takes for the caffeine to leave your system is much longer than you think. You might think it takes your body only something like 5 hours to get it out of the system, but brother, oh no. Even though the half-life of caffeine is like 3 to 5 hours, that doesn't mean that after that time it's completely gone from your system. It takes multiple half-lives for your body to completely get rid of all the caffeine in your system, so you might very well have traces of caffeine left in your body even after 12 hours after consuming the caffeine, depending on how much you consumed. So really, consume caffeine only in the first third of your day, because the caffeine sticks around for much longer than you would expect. And you best believe that you will remember this when you lay in bed unable to fall asleep. And you could also get into this situation by consuming a super heavy meal before the bed. If you slam a ton of food before you go to sleep, your body still has to process all the food, and instead of resting, your body will be forced to work, which will make it so much more difficult to fall asleep. So keep it light for your before the bed meals. Your before the bed meals should mainly be focused on getting in your protein. The last thing you want is to slam down some junk food with a ton of fat, because your body has to work overtime to process it. Now let's talk about supplementation, because there are some things that are for sure worth supplementing with. But there are also some that people should be really careful about. Hands down, the best supplements for sleep are zinc and magnesium, as they will help your body calm down and get into the sleepy mood. So I would highly recommend that. But what I would not recommend is supplementing with melatonin. Sure, it works pretty well, it puts you to sleep, but in my opinion this should be the last resort solution, and should be only taken once you have done everything in your power to improve your sleep hygiene. Sadly, most of the people just use it as a band-aid solution to fix their terrible lifestyle habits. You know how it is, everyone is looking for a shortcut, even though fixing your sleep hygiene is pretty simple. The last thing you want is being dependent on some pills. So first, try to apply all the tips from this video and see how much it will improve your sleep. And only if it still wasn't enough, then you can try supplementing with melatonin. But really, take it only if you have no other choice. It should be seen as a medicine for your body if you have health problems that keep you from a good night's sleep. It is definitely not a medicine for your laziness. And now, as I promised at the start of the video, let me share with you the trick that will make it so much easier for you to wake up in the morning. The main issue is that when your alarm goes off, it's in your reaching distance, so you shut it off like 75 times before you actually get up from the bed. To eliminate this problem, do one very simple adjustment. Instead of putting your phone or your alarm clock next to your bed, put it across the room. Then you will have to get up from the bed to shut it off. This truly works like a charm, so give it a shot tonight and you can let me know in the comments how well it worked for you. Alright, now turn off your phone, it's time to go to sleep. No, do not click on this video, you should go to sleep.